Picture vast Indonesian landscapes filled with endless rows of palm trees, stretching as far as the eye can see. These plantations are the beating heart of the world's largest palm oil industry, a sector that shapes the lives of millions. Palm oil, often called green gold, is found in almost everything, from the snacks we eat and the soap we use, to cosmetics, instant noodles, and even ice cream. But its role is expanding far beyond the supermarket shelves and kitchen cupboards. Palm oil is a vital economic engine for Indonesia, providing millions of jobs and supporting families in both rural villages and bustling cities. Now, this versatile oil is powering a new ambition: energy independence for the nation. Instead of relying on imported fossil fuels, Indonesia is transforming palm oil into biodiesel, a cleaner, renewable, and homegrown fuel source that's changing the way the country moves. This shift to biodiesel means more stable energy prices, less dependence on foreign oil, and stronger, more resilient rural communities that benefit directly from the industry's growth. By using palm oil for fuel, Indonesia is investing in its own future, supporting local farmers, empowering cooperatives, and ensuring that prosperity is shared across generations. The industry also strengthens Indonesia's position in global trade, building a resilient economy that can weather international challenges. Palm oil is no longer just a kitchen staple. It's become a strategic resource, fueling national growth, cleaner air, and a more sustainable way of life. The journey to biodiesel is a story of innovation, determination, and national pride, as scientists and engineers work together to unlock new possibilities. Indonesia is harnessing its natural gifts, blending tradition with technology, to create a sustainable future for its people and the planet. This is how our green gold is driving us into a new era of energy, one where Indonesia leads with innovation, resilience, and hope for generations to come. You've probably heard of B40 and B50, especially if you've been to a fuel station in Indonesia recently or followed the news about renewable energy. But what do these numbers and letters actually mean, and why are they important for our country's future? The B stands for biodiesel, a renewable fuel made from palm oil, which is one of Indonesia's most abundant natural resources. The number that follows the B tells you the percentage of biodiesel in the blend, mixed with regular petroleum diesel. So, B40 means the fuel contains 40% palm oil-based biodiesel and 60% traditional diesel. This blend is already being used in many vehicles and industries across Indonesia. B50, on the other hand, is a half-and-half blend, 50% biodiesel and 50% diesel, making it an even greener choice for transportation and machinery. Indonesia's journey with biodiesel started with B20, then moved to B30, and now B40, with plans to adopt B50 soon. Each step increases the use of local palm oil and reduces our reliance on imported fossil fuels. This shift not only boosts demand for palm oil farmers, but also helps stabilize palm oil prices, supporting rural communities and strengthening our national economy. Every liter of biodiesel we use means less money spent on importing foreign oil, keeping more of our wealth within Indonesia and making our energy supply more secure. Higher blends like B50 also mean cleaner air. Biodiesel burns with fewer pollutants, reducing harmful emissions that contribute to air pollution and climate change. For Indonesia's crowded cities, this means healthier air, fewer respiratory problems, and a better quality of life for everyone, especially children and the elderly. Moving from B40 to B50 isn't just a technical upgrade, it's a strategic decision that benefits farmers, boosts the economy, and protects the environment for future generations. In the end, it's a triple win for Indonesia: cleaner air, stronger communities, and a more sustainable future for all. In early 2026, many expected Indonesia to launch B50, but the government hit pause. Instead, they're sticking with B40 for now. A strategic delay, not a cancellation. The reason? Cost. Palm oil prices have risen, making biodiesel more expensive to produce. The government must balance the price of local palm oil with global crude oil to keep the program affordable. President Jokowi's directive: continue B40, but be ready for B50 when conditions improve. This isn't giving up, it's smart management, waiting for a better price gap. The goal is to keep the program sustainable without straining the national budget. The delay is about timing, not commitment. Officials are watching the markets, preparing for a smooth B50 rollout when the moment is right. It's a case of looking before you leap. The key reason for delaying B50 is the widening price gap between palm oil and crude oil. These two commodities, though both called oil, play very different roles in the global economy. Crude oil is the backbone of traditional energy, while palm oil is a renewable resource, often used for food and increasingly for fuel. Their prices are shaped by different forces: geopolitics, weather, supply chains, and global demand. When palm oil is much pricier than crude oil, making biodiesel blends like B40 or B50 becomes costly. The higher the price difference, the more expensive it is to produce biodiesel, since palm oil is a key ingredient in the blend. This means that every liter of biodiesel costs more to make, putting pressure on producers and the government. In January 2026, the price gap jumped to $370 per ton, up from $300 just months before. This sharp increase happened quickly, catching many by surprise and making it even harder to plan for the future. Such volatility is common in commodity markets, but it creates real challenges for long-term policy decisions. That extra cost, multiplied across millions of liters, strains the program's budget. The government must balance the desire to promote green energy with the reality of limited funds. Every rupiah spent on expensive biodiesel is a rupiah not spent on other vital programs, like healthcare, education, or infrastructure. Launching B50 now would skyrocket costs, risking funds needed for other priorities. The government faces tough choices. Should they push ahead with ambitious green targets, or wait for a more favorable economic climate? For now, caution wins out. The government's decision is practical: wait until the price gap narrows. This approach helps protect the national budget and ensures that the biodiesel program remains sustainable in the long run. If crude oil prices rise or palm oil prices fall, the blend becomes affordable again. These shifts can happen quickly, so officials must monitor the markets closely and be ready to act. The B50 rollout is flexible, tied to global market shifts. This adaptability is crucial in a world where prices can change overnight, due to events far beyond Indonesia's borders. Officials are ready to act when the economics make sense. They're constantly analyzing data, consulting experts, and preparing for the right moment to move forward. The fate of B50 depends on this daily dance of commodity prices. Every day brings new information, new risks, and new opportunities. It's all about timing and smart economics. In the end, the success of the B50 program will depend on making the right moves at the right time, balancing ambition with financial reality. Biodiesel is a great idea, but it's often pricier than regular diesel. Without help, people would choose the cheaper fuel, and the program would fail. That's where subsidies come in. The government pays the difference to keep biodiesel affordable. This ensures people actually use the cleaner, local fuel. The subsidy cost changes with the price gap between palm oil and crude oil. When palm oil is expensive, subsidies rise. When the gap shrinks, costs drop. Launching B50 now would require a much bigger subsidy, straining the budget. For 2026, the government budgeted for B40, not B50. Rising palm oil prices are already pushing costs up for B40. Sticking with B40 is a responsible choice, keeping the program sustainable. It's about making every rupiah count. Where does the subsidy money come from? Not regular taxes, but a special fund. This fund is filled by an export levy, a fee on every ton of palm oil sold abroad. The Palm Oil Plantation Fund Management Agency, BPDPKS, manages this piggy bank. Most of the fund pays for biodiesel subsidies, making the system self-sustaining. When palm oil prices are high, export levies bring in more money. If prices fall, the fund shrinks, risking the program's future. To keep up with rising subsidy costs, the government may raise the export levy. This adjustment ensures enough cash for B40 and future B50 plans. The system is constantly tweaked to keep biodiesel running smoothly. It's a smart, self-funding solution. Even with B50 on hold, preparations haven't stopped. Engineers are testing B50 in cars, trucks, and buses to ensure it works safely and efficiently. They're checking engine performance, fuel efficiency, and long-term effects on parts. The entire fuel supply chain, from storage tanks to pumps, is being assessed for B50 readiness. Adjustments may be needed for the thicker, different fuel blend. State energy companies and distributors are working together to prepare infrastructure. The goal: be ready to launch B50 the moment the price gap is right. All technical questions will be answered in advance. This readiness means Indonesia can act fast when the time comes. Preparation is key to a smooth transition. The country is staying one step ahead. Delaying B50 while continuing B40 is a careful balancing act. The government is pushing for energy independence and cleaner air, but not at the expense of fiscal stability. The biodiesel program is expensive and unpredictable, tied to global prices. By waiting for better conditions, the government protects the national budget and other vital services. This isn't a lack of ambition, it's responsible leadership. Indonesia's approach is flexible, adapting to real-world conditions. The goal is steady progress, not risky leaps. For citizens, this means stable fuel prices and a secure economy. A slow, steady rollout builds a strong foundation for future increases. Indonesia is playing the long game for a prosperous, energy-secure future. Indonesia's biodiesel journey is about taking control of our future. The B50 program represents the balance between energy needs, economic stability, and environmental health. Sticking with B40 for now shows a pragmatic, patient approach. This path means cleaner, homegrown fuel and less reliance on foreign oil. The government is protecting finances while pushing for renewable energy. The next step depends on global prices, but Indonesia is ready. Ongoing tests and infrastructure upgrades ensure a seamless B50 rollout when the time is right. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Smart choices for today and tomorrow. By managing B40 and preparing for B50, Indonesia is building a stronger, greener nation. The direction is clear forward, toward a cleaner, more self-sufficient Indonesia.